Hello everyone, welcome back to another ranking. Today we're going to be ranking every single Big Nate After Last Day of School comic. So let's do it. 32, 2019. So all it is just a Sunday because the next part is basically all of the country fair and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it's only just a Sunday of the After Last Day of School stuff, which is still nice, but couldn't you do a little bit better? 31, 2004. Again, this is only just a Sunday. Like, the last one was about the sun, which I forgot to mention. I was a little bit upset. But this one's about, like, him stuck in, like, Nate stuck in some hole and eventually catches it. But he's sagging up, the person, But, yeah, that's pretty much it. RIP. 30, 1998. So, while this one is a little bit interesting, honestly, it's not the greatest because it has a few just kind of separate stories in one comics and kind of stuff, which is nice, but it's not perfect. And a little slap to the face is that there's also July 4th, which I'll probably show in a future video, probably, but as you can expect, it's not that great. 29, 2001. Again, it's just a simple thing. It just has comic arcs and stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's summer, the usual. And I know in the past I've done it, higher for, Groundhog Day and stuff like that. Higher because, it mentions the holiday. But something like this, it's just not that interesting if you think about it. It's just, what even is this? 28, 1991. So this one is actually a bit interesting. Instead of, mentioning about summer like usual, this is about Dilly Burger, and it's pretty interesting. Although, it's just a simple, comic. It hasn't really aged well, and it's not really one you want to look back through. I honestly would not go back through this after seeing it once. 27, 1994. So, this one is about Nate becoming a future syndicate cartoonist, and that's pretty much it. This is the exact same one he's done a while ago, and yeah. Well, it's a little cool to see an introduction of another comic strip. That's pretty much it. It's not as interesting, and I know it's cool, but, there's, a lot better ones I'm putting in this ranking than this one, unfortunately. 26, 1995. This one! Yeah, so basically, Nate and Francis now have to work for Mrs. Godfrey for a week. I mean, that sounds nice, but, I don't really like this one because it's just, It might have been nice back in the day, but, I don't really like this one, honestly. 25, 2020. So, this is the exact same one, basically. It's another, when I mean exact same one, it's just kind of a simple plot. It's about Nate and Peter, just hanging out all over again. Yippee! That's not really what I expected, but it's not so great. 24, 2015. So, yeah, it's, again, it's just a set of comics and stuff. It is a little better, but still, why? Why is it that? 23, 1992. So, this one begins with, obviously, Nate talking, it's about the grades, Nate's grades, but then it actually gets interesting where, basically, Kenny has left Ellen, and, yeah, she's upset, so yeah, this one is actually interesting towards, the later half, the middle of the week, which actually makes this a lot more funner. Not by much, though. 22, 1993, so this one's all about life-saving. Hooray! And Kenny is in charge. That's why I put it a little bit higher than 1992. It's not perfect, but, I mean, there is a better version later, but it's still a great one to look at, and there's even a Dr. Serpool comic, which is amazing. 21, 1996. So this one's about, basically another collection of summer stuff. And this one's a lot more interesting, and this is where we're starting to get into the average stuff, because it is a pretty interesting, and while it's not perfect, it's still pretty cool to see. 1999. So this is about an argument for a dog and a cat. So it's actually pretty interesting because we also get to see the introduction of Spitzy because we never saw him before. And there we go. We finally meet Spitzy. And it's pretty cool. And also Nate just wants to get a dog. But then Ellen's like, can we have a cat instead? and it's pretty interesting if you ask me, and it's pretty funny. 2005. So this one's all about mini golf, and it's actually pretty funny because, Nate's struggling with mini golf. It's obviously a kid thing that you would struggle with mostly if you're really bad at it, and it's really funny with incredible jokes, and it's just such a funny thing to see. 2008. So this one's all about, them picking themes and stuff, which is only just 2 comic strips, but that's because there's another set of comics, which is about, Nate trying to earn money, which is pretty funny and has some great humor as well. 2010. So this is all about, summer. It has a set of comics like before, but it's a lot better because, it's improved and it's actually pretty funny if you think about it. It's just so funny to look at. 2012. So this is, Nate stinks up a bit, but eventually gets a lot better, and actually this section is pretty funny, and even just the separate comics in it in this week is really funny. It's so enjoying to see. 2017, also sorry about the noises, but it's kids during summer, so you're gonna hear that a lot in this video section. But anyways, 2017 is pretty cool. It talks about the report card. There's the Sunday, and then next is, a higher, level, which is pretty much interesting if you ask me, and it's really funny if you ask me. 2006. So this one, the first part is Nate, with the yearbooks and stuff, and then the other is Mrs. Godfrey's new baby, which is pretty cool, and she actually looks a little bit interesting, and, but that's how cartoons roll. 2022. So now Martin is, in love with this girl for some reason on the phone, which is really odd, and while it's a bit creepy, it is pretty funny if you think about it. Modern comics aren't always funny, but this is pretty funny to put at the top of the list. 2016. This is where Nate tries to get the signature of Mr. Rosa, and in the middle of this, chaos kind of ensues a bit while he's talking, getting the ice cream from Mr. Rosa because he has an ice cream job and stuff. Eventually, at the end, he does get the signature, but then he uses a special sauce or something like that, ice cream kind of thing. But it is still pretty funny to see, and I just enjoy it so much. 2007. So, Nate and Teddy go to the beach, and it's actually pretty relaxing. It's pretty funny, and it has great humor, which is pretty great to see in this kind of, comic situation. 2003. So, this is where Harry Potter comes into the frame. That's awesome! And this section of, the Big Nate comics, this is, pretty funny, and it has pretty good laughs here and there, and it's overall just really amazing to look at, and it also includes, Frisbee golf, which is also pretty amazing as well. 2002. So this one is all about golfing and stuff, and it's pretty funny and has pretty good laughs. I know I keep saying the same thing, but this one is just straight up funny. Both 2003 and 2002 can be interchanged. I just put this one a little bit higher because it's a lot more funnier to look at. 1997. So this is all about Dr. Sir Poole. And, basically he's lost his license and now he's a chef, basically. But then something bad happens and then he becomes a doctor again afterwards and saves a life, which is really awesome. And it's really dramatic, but it's also really funny at the same time. And it's just an incredible moment. 2009. So this one is all about Nate, Teddy, and Francis making a treehouse. And honestly, from the looks of it, if you read the entire comics, it's really amazing. It also has pretty good jokes, and it's such a great time to see. Although Teddy's color is a bit weird. 2018. So this is the exact same one, except now Teddy's coloring is a lot better. And of course, everything else is better, but obviously Teddy's color is a lot better. Nice. 2013. So, Nate is having trouble sleeping, like anyone else does. But it is pretty funny to see all the jokes and stuff, and the ending is so funny. Nate basically sleeps the entire day because he drinks a lot of drinks, and that's really the best part of the entire thing, which is why I put it really high on the list. 4, 2011. So we already did one back with 1993. This one's a lot better because it has Coach John. It has incredible jokes here and there, a lot of humor. The depth is amazing. Everything's really funny about these life-saving comics, and it's just so funny to, read out loud and laugh a lot. 3, 2014. So this is where Martin leaves for vacation for a bit, a business trip, and Uncle Ted is there. And honestly, him there makes it one of the best, comics I've ever read because it's really funny, it has incredible humor, it's just so funny. And the best part is when the neighbor comes and just, it's just so funny of a conversation. 2, 2000. This is about, Nate, Francis, Teddy trying to find a scout troop leader. And eventually they do find Mr. Rosa and all of its humor, just trying to find the scout troop leader. And eventually Mr. Rosa being the scout troop leader is just so funny. It has incredible jokes, humor. Everything is so funny. But there is one more that is really on the top. I like this one, but there's one more that's very on the top. But I still like this one. It's really funny. 1, 2021. This is the reason why I put this up as number 1. Simply because, while 2000 is great, it has an incredible storyline that is almost on number 1. The reason why this one is number 1, because it has a crazy plot twist. Basically, the supposed Nate and this girl are, dating, but it turns out it's actually another person called Nigel, and then, there's the real Nate, and it has an incredible twist. This is why I put it number 1, because it's really funny. And it's just so, unexpected, which I love so much, and it's just an incredible one to read. Thanks for watching my ranking. I'll see you later. Goodbye.